anyone listening has never heard this before, Doug has a tiny Doug living inside of him known as Practical Doug. Practical Doug dictates most of what Doug does throughout his life because it's practical advice. And the internet gets to ask Practical Doug questions. If you'd like to ask a question, you can hashtag Ask Practical Doug on any of the social medias, join our Discord, or if you have our numbers, you can just text us. This week's Practical Doug, I'm going through, and there's one that I really feel like we should ask this one this week. Do you know which one it is, Doug?
No, there's too many good ones.
Man. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Should we say one? You know what? I'm going to do this one because I'm curious.
Right, you choose one.
Practical Doug. Zinni wants to know, what was your favorite TV series from the 90s and how does it hold up today? Would you rewatch it?
That is a great question. I think the show that I remember the most was Saved by the Bell. And I think that was both 80s and 90s. I think it did. Or was it both? Was it all 90s? I don't remember. Saved by the Bell.
What's the practical answer to that?
The first episode was 1989, so it did happen in the 90s. So there we go. So I remember watching that show and just enjoying it. I'd watch it all the time. I thought it was great. But that show, even back then, was cheesy as hell. I mean, that show was just soaked in cheesiness, gross early 90s, late 80s sort of stuff, from the costumes to just the laugh tracks, and everything about it would just be absolutely unbearable. Bad jokes, just slap. It's a shitty show. I wouldn't watch it again. I absolutely would not watch it again. When they're like, we're making a new one, I'm like, who gives a shit? Fuck that show. Like, I don't care, man. That was great for the time, but it deserves to be where it is, which is gone at this point in time. Definitely enjoyed it for what it was, but absolutely no way would I ever bring it back
I just gotta see if I can pull this up here while you're talking.
If I could rewatch, I mean, if you forced me to watch an episode again, I bet it would be really brutal. It'd be really brutal to sit there and just just put up with it. Do you all know Saved by the Bell at all? Is this okay, cool. Yeah. I don't want to be insensitive and be like a typical American, like, you know everything we consume, right? Right? You know what this is.
We have Nickelodeon.
Okay, cool. You have Nickelodeon. That's good.
I think the one thing that can sum up your feelings is this clip here, Doug.
I'm so excited!
Is this the one where Jesse takes like caffeine pills?
Yeah, caffeine pills essentially, and she's addicted to caffeine pills. I'm so excited. I'm so scared.
And so I remember that because she has a breakdown, and Zach comes over and gives her a hug, and she's just like, ah!
Now, look, tackling a very real issue, but just done underneath the valence of just bad 80s and 90s. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's hard to take it seriously. Hard to hear the message.
Yeah.
Well, Doug, there's a practical question. Was that the way to address that topic, Doug?
I'm glad you asked. No, I think the best way to address it would be to do something like a, what's that show? Big Brother, where you watch someone by themselves in a house by themselves slowly become addicted to drugs and watch what happens.
I'd watch it.
All they have in the house is just like drugs, and it's like
Rolo's house. Drugs everywhere.
I've got DMT and everything.
Yes. So the answer to that question is Saved by the Bell. No good.
Not really a practical based question, but an interesting one nonetheless. Uh-oh.
Hey guys, I'm Rolo.
I need to get up again.
Rolo just takes off his shirt and starts doing push-ups. Just
how to get banned on YouTube.
He's wiry, but he's so strong.
4 guys come in to restrain him. He just pushes him off. He's like, ah! I'm feeling good.
Rolo, you have the right to remain silent.
I mean, it's practical in the sense of like, hey, what did you like and would you watch it again? Because does it have any sort of merit? And the answer is no.
I mean, as I was looking for that, I wasn't really paying attention. Did you guys talk about what shows you grew up with and if you would watch them again?
Friends. Over and over. Like when we got nothing to watch on telly, we will just start Friends again and again. And we notice more stuff the more we watch it. Like pointing stuff out. Like, oh my God, that's not even Rachel sat there. Wait, that's moved. This is not the same thing. But yeah, Friends is one of those forever things from my sort of childhood growing up. And because it went all the way into the early 2000s, I could just watch it over and over and over and over.
See, mine is, I question whether they could bring it back because I liked it. Quantum Leap.
Oh, that was a good show.
It covered like all kinds of sort of scenarios and
was it a good show?
I thought it was. I thought it was a good show.
I did too at the time, but is it now?
That's questionable.
Yeah.
That's why I wondered whether it'd be good to bring it back.
I heard they're thinking about rebooting it. I saw that just the other day.
Are they?
Yeah. Someone's thinking about rebooting it.
I guess there's the real practical question: are all these reboots a good thing? Because
no,
I don't know. I feel like I'm starting to get reboot fatigue. Like I'm curious about the new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reboot, the gritty, dramatic reboot. I'm curious about it because it's a new direction to take reboots, like bend the genre that they were originally in and then reboot it. That's cool, but I don't know. SNL last night did a good parody where they mocked that by they were saying the next one to get rebooted is Family Matters, a gritty Steve Urkel reboot.
There you go.
Where he joins a gang and Carl has to pull him off the streets.
Yeah. There you go.
See, they brought the Wonder Years back as well, didn't they? They rebooted the Wonder Years.
They did, yeah.
They did.
Is that any good?
How I Met Your Father.
I can see that. Yeah.
It's like.
Oh, yeah, I saw How I Met Your Father. I was like, oh, really?
I tend to steer clear of reboots as much as I can. By and large, I tend to steer clear of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. So that's Practical Doug, everybody.